You've made it to lesson 4. You're doing fantastic. Keep on going. In this lesson, we're going to look at what your rights are as a citizen of the United States, but we're also going to look at the responsibilities, the rights and the responsibilities, and compare the two. Next, not everybody is born a natural U.S. citizen, natural born U.S. citizen, and we're going to briefly look at the process of naturalization. You will explore this concept a lot more in your independent study work with the film you'll be watching, Citizen USA. But with that, we're saying citizen. I keep saying that word citizen. What the heck is a citizen? Citizenship is membership. It's like having a membership in a club. And if you are a member of the club, being a citizen of the United States, you are entitled to all of the rights, the protections, and the responsibilities that membership has. Just like if you become a member of the New York Yankees, you have all the rights and protections and privileges that come with that. If you join the Film and Drama Club, or if you join the basketball team, the high school basketball team, all these different clubs or groups have certain rights that come with them, privileges, but also responsibilities that you have to own up to as being a member of that. One of the most important facets that come with being a citizen of the United States is that our government is designed to protect the people's rights. Remember in 7th grade, we learned about how Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence that our government is designed to protect the people's natural rights. It's the main purpose of government. So you have the guarantee as a citizen of the United States that the government will work to ensure, protect, and defend your freedom of speech, your freedom to choose your own religion, your freedom to be informed, your freedom to assemble, to protest, to speak out, your right to protect yourself. Your government also will protect your rights, like maintaining your right to a trial by jury, your right to have a lawyer. Most importantly, your right to vote, which is, of all these rights, helps ensure and protect every right by maintaining our democracy. Our government's job is to ensure that you have these. By being a citizen, you get all this. Yay! These are all privileges that you have, especially the one to vote. Anyone living in the United States usually has their rights and freedoms protected. But you don't have a right to vote until you are a U.S. citizen. You don't get to have a say. But also, there is a lot of responsibilities that come along with being a U.S. citizen. In the words of Stan Lee, with great power comes great responsibility. Among these are one, to have civic virtue. Civic virtue means that you put the needs of the nation over your own personal ambition. That you put the needs of the many ahead of the needs of the you or the few. That you're willing to sacrifice to try to make your country, your land, your people better, a more perfect union. Now, all of our responsibilities involve some sort of sacrifice on our end. Let's explore these a little bit more. So, of all of these responsibilities you have, the most important, of course, is voting. Unless you vote, you're not the boss. You don't have a say unless you stand in the ballot box, make your choice, and make it count. You can argue, you can use your free speech rights, you can complain all you want, but ultimately the only way that you can be the boss, that you can truly be free and have a say, is to vote. And yeah, voting is a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice from your time. You have to make sure you're registered. You have to go and make time for it. Is it a huge sacrifice? Really, it's not. But unfortunately, in the United States, Our voter turnout is pretty low in comparison to many other countries in the world. Many Americans choose not to be the boss, not to live up to this responsibility. It is my hope that you will always show up and vote for every election that you can, whether it's for your mayor and council, whether it's for your state assembly or governor, or whether it's for your Congress, president, or senator in the federal government. You as a citizen have a duty to vote in every election. As we explore more of history, you'll see people had to fight. People had to be in prison. People had to bleed. People had to die to ensure that you had this, the most sacred of all rights, the right to have a say. So, if you are going to be a voter, if you are going to be the boss, then you have another responsibility, and that's to be informed. I mean, think about it. If you're the boss, it's like running a business, right? Would you run a business and make decisions for it and have no idea what was going on? Have no idea who your employees were? Have no idea of what they were expected to be doing? That's why it's important that you should be informed. That you need to go through the many different areas and outlets of media that are available to you, whether it's the internet, television, radio, social media, newspapers, magazines. You live in an age of information. You have more information in your hands than Benjamin Franklin or Albert Einstein ever had in their entire lifetime. Use that power to be informed before you make decisions, before you act as the boss. Now, unfortunately, we use that power for other things, to find out what the Kardashians are doing or what the score of the football game is. And I'm not saying don't do those things, but also use it to be informed, to know who the candidates are, what they stand for, to go and explore multiple points of view and not just hear people who you agree with. You have a duty as a citizen of the United States of being the boss to be informed. This next one, I think, goes without saying. If you are a citizen in a society, you are protected by the laws, but also you have to adhere to the laws. And as a citizen, you can't just say, well, I didn't know that was against the rules, so it's all right. No, ignorance of the law is not an excuse for breaking the law. As a citizen of the United States, you're expected to know and obey the law, to uphold the law, to make sure and look out for our laws. Because without laws, in a lot of ways, we have chaos. We need to have rules. We need to have a civil society, a civil way of making sure that our rights are protected, that our disagreements are settled about the law. So it is vital that you're aware and not ignorant of the law, and also are not violating it. To that end also, one way that you can serve, we all have a responsibility to defend our country, to defend our land. We spoke in class about the 9/11 first responders. Every first responder has dedicated their life to defending and protecting their town, their city, their state, their country, to defending the lives of strangers. But that duty doesn't just fall onto those who wear a uniform. That duty is on the hands of all of us. We all need to take a part in defending and protecting our country. The ultimate way, of course, is serving in our armed forces, the Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines, the Coast Guard. Even you could go into some of our federal agencies like the FBI or CIA, who defend and protect us. That is the ultimate sacrifice in protecting and defending your country, is the ultimate way of living up to the responsibility that we all have to defend the Constitution, to defend our principles, and to defend our people. And lastly, you have a duty to honor your country, to treat it with respect, to honor our traditions, to honor each other, to appreciate diversity, to show respect and dignity for our flag, for our holidays, to know the words of the national anthem, to celebrate our great achievements and days of notability like the 4th of July or Memorial Day. Now, these responsibilities aren't tremendously difficult, but if we all uphold and live up to our responsibilities, we have a much better country. After all, we live in a country that people from all over the world have made the choice to move, to come to go through a very long process to become a citizen of this country. Now, this process is called naturalization. If you're born in the United States, you're automatically a citizen. 14th Amendment of the Constitution guarantees this. And if both of your parents are not U.S. citizens, if you're born on U.S. soil, yay, you're natural born, you're a U.S. citizen. Also, if at least one of your parents is a U.S. citizen when you were born, you're also automatically a U.S. citizen. However, if you immigrate to the United States, whether you are 5 days old or 90 years old, in order to become a United States, you must become naturalized in order to gain citizenship, full citizenship in the United States. This is a lengthy process. Getting approval to get a visa just to come into the United States sometimes can take years and years, maybe even decades, depending on which country. And then when you get here, you have to live here for a number of years, and you have to go through many different procedures in order to become a citizen, filling out various forms, passing background checks, being interviewed, having to show that you can speak English by passing a test. You have to take a test in civics, showing that you understand all the different things that you're learning in this course. And lastly, you have to take an oath of allegiance to the United States, promising your loyalty to this country. Well, when you watch the movie as part of your independent study work, Citizen USA, you'll get a better grasp of the naturalization process and how much people have to go through in order to have the privilege of enjoying the citizenship within the United States. So, to wrap up the lesson, what do you think is the most important responsibility of a citizen of the United States? And why do you think this is our most important responsibility? Secondly, we talked a lot about the right to vote, and we spoke about the responsibility to be informed. Why is being informed so important in relation to the right to vote? Lastly, why do you think so many people are willing to go through such a complex and lengthy process in order to become a U.S. citizen? Write down your answers, post them on Edmodo, and I look forward to talking with you about this in class. That's all for now. Until next time we meet, keep learning.